Welcome to the Military Meditation Coach. This episode of Meditation for Accepting Hurt is guided by David Teachout, healthcare educator for Arctic Slope Regional Corporation Federal's work to support the Defense Health Agency Connected Health Branch. The views expressed here are those of the presenters and do not reflect the official policy of the Department of Defense or the United States government. The Military Meditation Coach podcast is produced by the Defense Health Agency in collaboration with the Navy Bureau of Medicine and Surgery. You can learn more about us and get in touch on Facebook and Twitter at Military Health.
Often, mindfulness is associated simply with feeling better. That in the practice, you reduce anxiety, that you generate a feeling of goodwill. And there's often very little sense of what's the practical outlet for this? What am I actually getting out of bringing attention to the breath, for instance? So with that in mind, I want to bring up a practice that I refer to as accepting the hurt. It is difficult at times when we are feeling heartache, emotional pain. A memory keeps coming up that reminds us of a difficult time that seems to take us over. It seems to become the whole of our world. It becomes very difficult to see a path forward because this feeling of hurt is so overwhelming. Mindfulness allows you to see this for what it is: a thought, a momentary experience. It helps you see that you are more than what you are currently focused on. So with that in mind, I want to invite you to follow along as we work on accepting the hurt. Please take a breath, and if comfortable doing so, close your eyes, bringing attention to where you're at, the seat you're on, or the ground beneath you. Rest there for a moment. And with one more breath, bring to mind an unpleasant emotion or memory or thought that you've recently been struggling with. Don't dwell on it. Simply let it sit in your mind, observing it as if from a distance. Let it be, noting that you are not it. You are the observer, seeing that it does not contain all of who you are. Now, with your mind, take a piece of chalk. Doesn't matter what color it is. Pick your favorite and draw an outline around the memory, emotion, or thought that you've brought up. Follow its contours, its peculiar or perhaps simple shape. Don't force it. Don't try to make it into something. Just let the chalk of your mind outline the feeling. Now, when that outline is done, take a breath and look at what you've drawn. Notice how the outline allows you to consider the experience as its own separate thing. Still a part of you, but not all of you. Notice that it has its own nature, its own look and feel, and maybe even sound. Notice that it has a particular shape, a way of simply being that has its own presence separate from the rest of you. Now, with your mind's eye, expand your vision from that particular experience to all of you. See its connection within this broader vision, but that it is only one small part of who you are. Notice how some parts of you may not even connect to it, or when there are connections, they're small or light. Like every thought or behavior, this too is only part of who you are. And as with all thoughts and feelings, will arise and fall away. Now, with another breath, expand your awareness immediately beyond your body to the room or space you're in. Notice the way you relate to what is around you, how where you are, the position you're in, gives you a perspective to see some things and yet be blind to others. As it is true here, so it is true with the experience that has been troubling you. It has blinded you to some things, the rest of who you are that still exists. This is life. This is why exploration is so important. And now, with one final breath, bring yourself back to who you are, the body you inhabit, thanking your mind for letting you experience more of yourself. And when you're comfortable, you can open your eyes.